Hello, and welcome to the latest edition of the Diamond Cooper Show. Come to you live over the airways of YouTube, digitally, from our hometown of Washington, D.C. In a little bit of pain right now. Unfortunately, had a little slip on the steps, busted my elbow up, so I probably won't be lifting this elbow up a whole lot because it's hurting a little bit. Thank you to those who have liked and subscribed so far. And if you're just joining, make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe button, boop, and support your brother. And I'm going to keep the content coming. We had a great weekend of football, playoff football, and you know I'm going to get into it. But first, the first segment of the show. For real. Now, first and foremost, why is the Cowboys the topic of the conversation and they're not freaking playing anymore? That's number one. Now, this is what happens when they talk about pressure bust pipes. Because, see, that's what the organization has been known for. When the pressure mounts, they fall short. And it happened again this year. And now with the new age and social media and everything, now we got family members just going to social media to just talk about how they want their family member out. And what people don't realize with this new age is you go online and you express your frustrations or what you want for your family member that plays for whatever team that they play for. Automatically, the organization and the people that are in that brotherhood and in that arena are going to believe it came from said player. That's why I got to respect what Michael Parsons did, because his brother came out saying, okay, should my brother, man, get 30, 40 million to stay or should he roll out? Michael came out like, look, man, I speak for myself. He doesn't speak for me. I respect that. Even though he didn't deny what his brother said, he at least saying that, don't listen to what my brother's saying. If you want to know how I feel, I will tell you. I respect that. Dak Prescott's brother, Tad Prescott, for those who don't know, he's been known for making statements over the years, especially with some of the pundits and some of the journalists, you know, on ESPN, other networks. He said that he wanted Dak to be gone. He feels Dak is unappreciated. He says Dak loves the team and wants to bring him a ring, but he feels as though he's tired of all of the drama and the narrative around Dak Prescott, so he wants Dak Prescott gone. Newsflash, bro. Your brother has been great September, October, November, December. And then in January, he hasn't shown up, Tad. So the criticism would be unfair if he actually showed up in the big games, in the biggest moments. But Dak Prescott hasn't done that. So you coming out saying that is giving the impression that you his brother, so that's how he feels. But then you're going to say in the same message that, or the same tweet, I should say, that he still wants to bring a ring to the Cowboys and that the Cowboy organization has treated you and your family well. And y'all been through a lot, you know. Had a sibling, man, commit suicide, lost y'all mom. Y'all been through a lot, so I get it. Frustration can have a different touch with you when you go through some things. I know. However, y'all need to keep your conversations with your family members that play in the league to yourself. Don't put it out there for everybody else to see, because now you give them an opportunity to create a narrative and they're going to blame your brother for what you're saying. And then CeeDee Lamb's mother comes out saying she wants him out. Like, everybody wants their players to leave. But what did the players do on the field? So are your frustrations justified? Or you feel this because when you wear that star on the side of your helmet, it comes with a whole lot of extra cachet and a lot of extra criticism and attention. And perks too, I might add. You get a lot of perks when you got this star on your helmet as well. And to all the trolls, like, really, put it like this. I'm not sure if that's the definite definition of what a troll is as far as like how the media utilizes the term. But most of the people who are trolls, their team ain't doing so good. Or their team isn't any anymore. Let me remind y'all of one thing. There's 32 teams in the NFL, but there's only one Super Bowl champion. So everybody who want to troll and all this, you actually happy that you played an extra couple of weeks than somebody else's team or an extra week? The players getting paid for those extra checks, the playoff game check bonus. Y'all not getting it. You're not getting no extra money if the Cowboys lose. So what's the point with all this trolling and hating when your team ain't doing shit? And if your team's still in it, they probably might lose this weekend. So don't be so quick to troll and talk trash about somebody else's team and all this shit because your team didn't do good. Most of y'all, and you know I'm telling the truth, because some of y'all are from here, and we know what the Commanders did. And a lot of the ones that I know are from here because I'm from here. And even though all of them are Commander fans, Philly went down for some of my homies. Buffalo went down for some of the homies. So all this trolling, it's only one winner. So everybody who wastes their time talking trash about a team who lose in the playoffs, it ain't going to be but one team to win. And unfortunately, you trolls, your team ain't win either. And getting the AFC Championship is set. Kansas City is going to Baltimore. Kansas City, after they win over Buffalo, 27-24. Their sixth straight AFC Championship appearance. They 3-2 in those appearances. Got 2 Super Bowl wins. I told y'all, I gave you the juice. Baltimore, Kansas City. Threw a couple of bonuses in there just if you wanted to get some extra picks. But I gave you Baltimore, Kansas City. Because of that narrative, Mahomes on the road and all that. 17-23, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Isaiah Pacheco. Now, if y'all pay attention to how this boy run angry. He runs so angry. Now, I got to take the jacket off because I think the scar on my elbow starting to stick on my sleeve. Yeah, I busted up, man. See that right there? Yeah. It's a little irritating too. It just happened. I hope it don't swell up and get all stiff in the morning. I got some things to do. Wanted to exercise, but I don't know the way it's feeling right now. That might not happen. But Isaiah Pacheco, like I was saying, he run angry. And the last time I seen somebody run this angry was Marion Barber for the Dallas Cowboys. Wound up finishing at Chicago before he retired. He run hard, 15 carries, 97 yards and a touchdown. Travis Kelce, doing what Travis Kelce does in the playoffs. Him and Mahomes. Travis Kelce, 5 catches, 75 yards, 2 Bajas, touchdowns. A Baja's a touchdown, just in case you don't know. Just in case you're just joining me. Excuse me. Josh Allen, 26-39, 186 yards passing in the touchdown. He did have 72 yards rushing and 2 rushing touchdowns. James Cook had 18 carries, 61 yards, 4 catches for 21. James Cook, he was doing good. I think they probably could have gave him the ball a little bit more. Stephon Diggs, 8 targets, only 3 catches, 21 yards. And then the bomb that he had. Josh Allen threw, man, it looked like he threw about 60, 70 yards. And Stephon jumped right through. And that play right there could have changed the game. There was a couple of other plays too that could have changed things up a little bit. But what it came down to is big time players make the plays when you need them the most. And when the game gets down to crunch time and it's time for you to make a play, Josh Allen, you got the ball this time. A couple of throws could have been made on the second down when he jabbed. Chris Jones was kind of pushing Deion Dawkins back into him, so it's a little bit of pressure. You know, the greats, they feel that pressure, step up a little bit so that they can make that throw down the middle to Shakir because he threw it in the dirt. Because that little bump, I guess, threw him off. But when it's time to be great, I saw Brock Purdy make the same kind of throw against the Green Bay Packers. And it was an accurate pass because he made a little bit of adjustment, fit in the pressure, fit in the game, get the throw out. He could have also hit Stephon Diggs on the crosser on that play. And then on the play that he threw out of bounds before they tried the 44-yard field goal, he went for the deep shot when he had Kincaid coming across the middle. That could have made it a closer field goal or could have got them in a situation where they could have wound up having to make a decision to go for it or not because he would have been close. It looked like him and Bolton was going to wind up colliding right there. So he would have to push to get an extra yard or 2, but it would have been close enough. So then it comes down to 44-yard field goal from Tyler Bass. And the two words that Buffalo fans hate the most, wide right, with 1 minute and 47 seconds left. Knowing you can't get Pat Mahomes that much time. And then they also, with 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and this is why Sean McDermott is not going to catch as much heat as the kicker, because most fans, the average fan, is just looking at it like this, man, oh, you just got one job, man. All you got to do is kick, just kick. Okay, the wind blowing like hell. That's number one. It's cold as hell. That's number two. And everybody on the field has a job. Josh Allen had a job to get a touchdown, so that you didn't have to worry about that. The lineman got a job, the tight ends, wide receivers, running backs, defense. Everybody has one job, and you have to do it, but you have to do it collectively. And the situation could have been more ideal. There were a bunch of opportunities that were there. Josh Allen fumbled, and then KC was trying to scoop a score, and then Buffalo wound up getting that back. Then Kansas City went to Mecole Hardman when Pacheco checked out because he had rolled his ankle a little bit, and he tried to stretch it. He fumbled out of bounds. Buffalo gets the ball back. So it was opportunities there. But just like, and this is what throws me off a bit, because even when certain quarterbacks fall short, some people in the media still try to glorify them. Like on Get Up, Dan Orlovsky was going out of his way to, express that Josh Allen was, if not the best player, the second best player on the field. So it's not his fault that they lost. Okay, I'm not going to blame them for their loss because the defense gave up 27 points. However, there were opportunities there for Josh Allen to show that he's on the same level with Patrick Mahomes. Because now, 3 times out of the last 4 years, he's lost to who? Patrick Mahomes. They moved the goalposts for certain quarterbacks because Josh Allen hasn't gotten it done. He did make it to an AFC Championship game one time. I give him that. He does have 5 playoff wins along with 5 playoff losses. I give him that. He has advanced. But when it really counts, the last 2 years, you had the chance to get the home games in your house. And Joe Burrow came in there in the snow and whacked you. And then Patrick Mahomes came in there this year and reminded you. So all this glory that they keep trying to give to Josh Allen, you need to have the same type of criticism that you have about other quarterbacks from different ethnicities, if I may. Same shit y'all talk about with Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers was winning MVPs and didn't get a Super Bowl. All this stuff y'all was talking about different quarterbacks. Y'all moving the goalposts when it's convenient. You need to criticize Josh Allen too, because he get undeserved hype. He a bad mofo, don't get me wrong. And he does make plays. I mean, against Kansas City, averaging 306 yards, averaging 70 yards rushing. You feel what I'm saying? 22 touchdowns and only 1 turnover. So he has been balling. And then the loss in the divisional round a couple of years ago in overtime, that was because his defense gave up points with 13 seconds left to go. So he has played, at a phenomenal level. But it only counts if you get the win. And they didn't do it. So now Rough Buff is right home with us. So my buddies out there, those Buffalo fans, y'all know who you are. Now you're right here again. And now you're going to mess around and lose Stephon Diggs too. Because obviously something was off with that. Because the second half of the season, he wasn't getting the targets, the catches, or the yards. And that bomb that he dropped in the playoff game, we seen him make the miracle in Minnesota against New Orleans and everything. Like, he won't make that catch. So it's a lot going on. It's probably going to be some changes in Buffalo, but they're not going to change Josh Allen because they keep hyping him up. He like the great white hope. They just can't wait for him to cross over. Nah, he can't beat Patrick Mahomes. That's that dragon that he can't slay. So now Kansas City is going to see Baltimore and the MVP, the other jewel that I gave you, Baltimore, 134-10 over Houston. First half was kind of competitive, but in all actuality, Houston's only touchdown came on a 67-yard punt return from Steven Sims. Lamar was 16 for 22, 152 passing, 2 touchdowns. He also had 11 carries for 100 yards and 2 Bajas. MVP without a doubt. They had 229 yards rushing, pounding them. And that's what you got to understand. Baltimore's always been about defense, running the ball. They didn't have a whole lot in the receiving. He only had 152 receiving, but Zay Flowers had 4 catches for 41 yards. OBJ had a crucial third down catch, and Isaiah Likely had a couple of catches and 1 touchdown when he mossed him. And if y'all saw earlier, they had ran a play, and he was coming across, and Lamar threw it kind of low, and the dude broke it up. The safety Petrie for Houston broke it up. And Likely was like this, like, throw that thing up. And Lamar was like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Next time, read option, boop, threw that thing up. And right up over top of Derek Stingley, Baja. They looking like a real machine. CJ Stroud, rookie sensation, had a great year. Nobody expected them to win the division, have a home playoff game. They won the playoff game against number 1 defense in Cleveland. Got to give him props for making it. He was 19 to 33 for 175 yards. Nico Collins, pedestrian kind of game, 5 for 68. Couldn't really get anything going on the ground. And you could see after halftime, when they went in there and talking, Lamar said he had a little talk with him. He was like, man, I can't say what I said, in front of this microphone. It's inappropriate to say. But I had to let it be known, man, we got to go out here and do what we do. And in the second half, you can see the difference. Pound, touchdown. Put them away. Go ahead, chill out. Get ready. And you know something? I don't know how many of y'all remember who Ozzie Newsome is. But he used to be a player, and then he was the GM that moved the franchise to Baltimore. And he doesn't get enough credit for the job he has done over the years in bringing players. I mean, everybody from that Baltimore defense of 2000, basically, Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, Tony Siragusa, Peter Boulware. He was integral in bringing Shannon Sharpe over, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. Now, the funny thing about it, his last draft choice that he made was moving up back into the first round to get Lamar Jackson at 32. Everybody in Baltimore loved Ozzie Newsome now. For all those questions, that they had, wanting to be a wide receiver, wanting to play running back, want to do whatever they want him to do. Not respecting what his brother brought to the table, but he told you when he first got drafted, when they asked him what could we expect from Lamar, he said a bowl. And I'm letting you know right now, he about to bring it home. For sure. Kansas City at Baltimore, Sunday, 3 o'clock. Right now, Kansas City is a 3.5-point underdog, over under 44.5. And I'm telling you right now, I'm rocking with Lamar. You don't even have to wait for that. Oh, yeah, that's right. With Mahomes and Kelsey also, they got the playoff record for most wide receiver, quarterback receiver duo, receiver or tight end, whoever's receiving the ball. Brady and Gronk had the record with 15. Mahomes and Kelsey came in with 14, so they tied and passed it. So now they have the record with 16 touchdowns in the playoffs. Brady and Gronk is second with 15, and Joe Montana, Jerry Rice is third with 12. I kind of thought they would have had more, but kudos to them, man. They get it done. They went on the road. They had a heck of a game plan against Buffalo's defense, even though we know they were slightly depleted over the season, but at the end of the year, they played better. And Sean McDermott made some questionable decisions, and that hurt them. So now Buffalo's at home. Kansas City goes to Baltimore. And on the other side, man, we got some new Detroit Lions now, man. They're not the same old Detroit Lions. They handled their business. San Francisco handled their business. Jordan Love did great. San Francisco won 24-21. This is their 4th NFC championship in the last 5 years. I mean, look, y'all been there. Y'all keep knocking on the door. What y'all gonna do? Y'all there. Y'all gotta see Detroit because we didn't do what we supposed to do. So I'm not salty that we're not there. It's kind of regular, normal for me. But Jordan Love gave them all they can handle, man, for a while. He was 21-34, 194, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he threw a crucial interception late in the game. And I was like, what the hell is he doing? Throwing in a triple coverage. He hit Romeo Doubs a few times, 4 for 83. Aaron Jones was the first running back to gain 100 yards rushing on San Francisco in 51 games. That showed they be biting against that run. He had 11 carries for 108 yards. Brock Purdy, 23 of 39, 252, touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, man. 17 carries, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns, 7 catches, 30 yards. Did y'all see the move when he was in the hole? He get the ball, he gets to the hole, the dude right there, he just boom, this is it. And the dude was just like, he was like, ain't nothing I can do. What can I do with that? Like, Christian McCaffrey is amazing, man. He's the MVP of that team for real. Brock Purdy been bought, but he's the MVP of that team for real. And just like against Cleveland early in the year, when Debo went out that game, Purdy was struggling. And in the fourth quarter, Kyle Shanahan kind of took the ball out of his hands, put it in McCaffrey's hands, and McCaffrey brought him home. So that was smart coaching because it looked like Brock was getting a little bit tight. Shanahan put that thing together like, nah, we're going to take it out. We ain't going to force you to do nothing. We're going to run this thing until they stop it. George Kittle, 4 for 81 on the touchdown. George Kittle always getting quite good money, man. Definitely one of the best tight ends in the NFL. You understand what I'm saying? San Francisco, they was 0-30 with Kyle Shanahan as a coach when they was trailing by 5 or more points in the fourth quarter. Perfect time to break that streak. Perfect time to break that streak because being 0-31 would mean you be home right now. But they get to play at home. And people was asking, a couple people that I talked to, you know, when they see how impressive Jordan Love was, like, why don't teams, you know, like sit quarterbacks, you know, for 3 years or whatever, like they did? Everybody don't have that luxury. Everybody doesn't get drafted, or how should I say, the organization doesn't draft a player and have a Hall of Fame quarterback all the time. Aaron Rodgers came in, Brett Favre was there, Hall of Fame quarterback, sat behind him. Jordan Love came in, Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Fame quarterback, sat behind him. So Green Bay's situation is kind of unique in how they've been going about it. Some other teams, you know, some other players back in the day sat for a little while, like Michael Vick sat for a little while, even though he was #1 pick. Chris Chandler was a quarterback. Then he wound up taking over. Lamar Jackson sat behind Joe Flacco. He wound up taking over. Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith, took over. So on and so forth. There's been a lot of quarterbacks that wind up in situations where the quarterback isn't a Hall of Famer, and then they learn a little bit, and then eventually they take over the reins. And then sometimes you come into a situation where you got a quarterback that's on that trajectory, that Hall of Fame trajectory, and you're going to have to sit and wait because they're producing. Oh, man, it's not pretty. Lord, where the rain go at? So you can't just expect everybody to use the same MO because it doesn't work out the same way. It depends on what you have in your locker room. It's contingent upon who's playing the position. So even though it's worked for Green Bay in their formula, how they do it, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work the exact same way for everybody because everybody doesn't have that luxury at all. In Detroit, they handled Tampa Bay 31-23. It's their first NFC Championship appearance since 1991. I was watching back then. They had Barry Sanders, and they went to play Washington, and they got the ass whooped. That's what Washington had. Mark Rippon. You know, Barry Sanders was with Detroit. He really was the main name. Dan Campbell, man, their head coach. His culture, his energy, you can see it. When you look at the post game, you can see it. These guys is on one accord, and they not like the fans in the streets, you know, they was like partying and everything, beating their horn like they won a Super Bowl, you know, whatever. But I mean, it's been so long since they won a playoff game, and they haven't even had no playoff games in that new stadium. So to win two and have a chance to go to the Super Bowl, they're carrying themselves as if they belong. They're not carrying themselves as if, you know, they are satisfied. And that's a good thing. And that says a lot about how he coaching. And one of the things he said, we potentially got 2 more with a bye in the middle. So let's get back to work. And you got to love it. Jared Goff was 30 of 43 for 287 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, young rookie out of Alabama, I told people it wasn't. Now, why they draft a running back so high? He was worth it. And he missed some time. Like when they played Tampa Bay the first time, he didn't even play. And they still beat him by 14. He had 9 carries for 74 yards and a 31-yard touchdown run that broke the game open and basically sealed it for him, put him up 2 scores. And that forced Tampa Bay to have to score 2 touchdowns. So he showed out. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8 for 77 in the touchdown. Not gaudy numbers, but when you're watching the game and you pay attention to down and distance, when he made the catches, when he made the plays, and how it helped his team, he made big plays. Sam Laporta, 9 catches, 65 yards with the big brace on his knee. He was saying he didn't even know if his knee would hold up, and he's still out there working. Got to give them boys a lot of credit. They playing with a whole lot of heart. Baker, the touchdown maker, he had 26 out of 41, 349, 3 Bajas, 2 pick. In the last pick, to end the game, he threw it. Derek Barnes, a linebacker, jumped it. He misread the zone, and he just drifted right back in front of Cade Otton, the tight end. Picked that thing off, and that was the end of it, man. But they played a good game, man. They played a good game, finished well. Mike Evans had 8 for 147 in the touchdown. He was baking them. My God, he was baking them. Cade Otton, that tight end that he threw the pick trying to catch, he had 5 catches, 65 yards in the touchdown. And the running back Rachaad White, he had a decent game, 91 total yards in the touchdown. Just wasn't enough, man. They have a core, and it's like Jared Goff is not that old. And they have a core of young talent, young players. They got a good culture. Since Sheila Ford has took over, Sheila Ford Hampus took over, they've made a lot of better decisions in the draft. You look at the draft class this year, last year, the way they finished great. 6-1, and then you add the draft class to that just made them exponentially better, and you can see how it's translated to the field. So congratulations to Detroit, first NFC Championship game since 1991, man. Congratulations to Jared Goff. I'm sure it's gratifying for him, but I know they're going to be even happier if they make it to the bowl. So it doesn't take long at this type of year for me, at this time of year, I should say, because I've watched all year. So it's kind of clear cut to me how things should go. A la Michigan, Baltimore, KC this weekend. I'm going to give you the jewels early. And I rarely change my mind. But I got a couple more shows to do this week in case something changes. Injury, somebody might not play, some weird stuff with the line. Anything can change. But I'm going to tell you right now, the early jewel, I'm going to use the word trending towards. We're trending towards Baltimore covering the spread, winning straight up. And Detroit, if they don't win, at least covering the spread. Because that grit, I think they're going to make it tough, even if they don't win. So that's the direction we're trending in. Baltimore to cover, Detroit to cover. And before I get out of here, just wanted to mention something, because I don't really delve into politics like that. I really haven't had a whole lot of concern with it if it doesn't have any direct effect on me, because adversely to what people believe, it doesn't really have as much effect on people as y'all think out there. All the people who vote and go to these rallies and all this shit. But I just find it kind of ironic, and y'all can tell me what y'all think, that Donald Trump got federal indictments, 91 counts, and can still run for president. I got felony. I'm on probation. I can't even clear police clearance. Now, I know what country we live in, but I'm just saying, it's a little fucked up that this dude can have on black and white stripes or be in a federal penitentiary. Well, not he ain't gonna go to the penitentiary, a federal camp or low somewhere, and he can still be the president of the whole country. But just because I got a felony and I'm on probation, I can't clear a police clearance or a background check. Y'all think something wrong with that? Does that sound like equality to y'all? I don't have any personal gripes with Trump, because when he did the First Step Act, I actually got out of prison early. So I don't have any personal gripe with him, because he actually did something that affected me. Remember I said that? It affected me. So I paid attention to that. But a lot of the other things that's going on and how he just don't give a damn about nothing. He ain't answering a question if he don't want to. You ask him a question about a building, he'll start talking about emails. Like, he don't give a fuck at all. And I can relate to that in some aspects in life. But it's just weird. And even though there's information, that will solidify why is that difference, that kind of information, will create a little stir and probably some negative energy that I'm not really willing to embrace right now. Maybe at a later date, but not right now. But I wonder how y'all feel about that. A dude can have a 91 counts against him, open cases, and run for president, but your case closed. You done did your time, but you on paper and you can't even get a police clearance or pass a background check. Seems kind of unbalanced to me, you know, when we talk about scales. Don't seem right to me. Let me know what you think. All right, now before I get up out of here, make sure you hit that like, that subscribe button. I appreciate everybody who's been joining me, rocking with me since day one. I'm going to keep it coming, keep growing this thing, keep maturing it, turn it into more, you know, how should I say, more eye-worthy, whereas you got some visuals and stuff and little music and stuff. I'm working on all of it. Working on getting the guests to go on. Probably got to get a new phone because it's been acting up. Working on that as well. And before I get up out of here, I want to shout out Miss Tara Vanderveer, excuse me. She's the head coach, basketball, women's head coach at Stanford University. She just reached 1,203 wins, passing Coach K. That's Mike Krzyzewski from Duke University that just retired a year ago, for those who don't know, for the most wins in NCAA history. Kudos to you, Ms. Vanderveer. Been a great coach. I've been watching you. You had Stanford 14 Final Fours. Man, wicked. She's been doing it for a long time. Kudos to her. And on another note, kind of sadder, but another note, I want to send condolences to the King family. Rest in peace, Dexter Scott King, Martin Luther King's youngest son. He was 62 years old, battling prostate cancer. Condolences to you and your family. You know, my grandma marched with MLK. My mom was there for some of the events with MLK and everything. So I got a little bit of history, personal history about him when I was younger. So, you know, just want to send that love out there. And them condolences to the King family. Dexter Scott King is 62, no longer here with us, man. Rest in peace. Congratulations to Miss Tara Vanderveer. 1,200 wins now. I mean, she might have, depending on how long she's going to coach now, but she might take that thing up to about 1,400. Hope y'all enjoyed y'all weekend. Hope y'all enjoyed the games. Definitely hope you enjoyed the show. Please like and subscribe. Rock with your boy. Peace and blessings.